The scariest killers are often the ones no one sees coming. There is no masked intruder, just a quiet, ordinary moment, the kind people trust without question. In 1982, across Chicago, that moment repeated itself in different homes. Each victim reached for something familiar. Within minutes, their bodies failed, not slowly, but violently. 7 people died, not because they were chosen, but because they weren't. Randomness can be far more terrifying than intent. This was the beginning of the Tylenol murders. It started quietly on the morning of September 29, 1982. 12-year-old Mary Kellerman woke up feeling unwell. Her parents reached for something they trusted. "Take this," her mother said, handing her a capsule of Extra-Strength Tylenol. Mary swallowed it without question. Within moments, something shifted. Her body stiffened, her breathing faltered, and confusion turned to panic. Before anyone could react, she collapsed. What began as a simple attempt to ease discomfort spiraled into a tragedy no one could understand. At the hospital, confusion replaced routine. Doctors moved urgently, searching for anything that could explain such a sudden collapse. "She was healthy," one doctor said with disbelief. "There's no clear cause." The room filled with questions that had no answers. For a moment, it seemed like an isolated tragedy. But that illusion didn't last. Before grief could settle, it happened again. Each case appeared separate at first, scattered across the city, but the pattern was already forming. A postal worker was found dead. A flight attendant collapsed. A mother, a newlywed, different lives interrupted with the same terrifying suddenness. 7 people in total, each one seemingly unconnected. Families were left searching for explanations while authorities struggled to find common ground. At first, no one suspected the medicine, because Tylenol represented reassurance. Manufactured by Johnson & Johnson, it stood for safety and normalcy until that illusion cracked. The breakthrough came through repetition too precise to ignore. When 3 members of the same family died within a single day, investigators were forced to confront the possibility that these deaths were connected. "What did they all take?" one officer asked. The answer came back the same each time: Tylenol. The realization unfolded slowly, then all at once. Authorities rushed to collect and test the capsules, knowing that whatever they found could change everything. What they discovered shattered every assumption. Inside the capsules was not medicine, but potassium cyanide, a lethal dose deliberately placed. The room fell silent as the implications settled in. "Someone did this," an investigator said quietly. The conclusion was horrifying. Someone had opened the capsules, replaced their contents with poison, and returned them to store shelves. There were no signs of tampering, just death hidden in plain sight. To understand the horror, one must understand the poison. Cyanide does not kill gradually. It attacks something fundamental to life. Once swallowed, potassium cyanide reacts with stomach acid to release hydrogen cyanide gas, which rapidly enters the bloodstream. From there, it targets the body at the cellular level, binding to an enzyme known as cytochrome C oxidase. This enzyme is essential for cellular respiration. Without it, the entire system collapses. "You're breathing," a doctor later explained, "but your body can't use the oxygen anymore. It is suffocation from within." Oxygen continues to circulate through the blood, but it becomes useless, inaccessible to the cells. The brain, which requires constant energy, begins to fail first. Confusion sets in, followed by seizures and collapse. Then the heart begins to falter, and soon after, everything else follows. Death can occur within minutes. They never had a chance. When the truth reached the public, fear spread with speed. "If Tylenol isn't safe, what is?" someone asked during a broadcast. The question echoed far beyond the city, planting doubt in households across the country. People stopped taking medication altogether, unwilling to trust even the most familiar remedies. Pharmacy shelves were cleared overnight, and hospitals braced for a wave of panic. What had once been routine was now loaded with fear. The true terror lay in the randomness. Anyone could be next. Any bottle could be contaminated. The balance of power shifted in an instant, transforming consumers into potential victims. The person responsible remained unseen. Authorities moved quickly, issuing warnings and initiating a massive recall. Over 30 million bottles of Tylenol were pulled from circulation, marking one of the largest recalls in history. Yet even as action was taken, the fear remained. The investigation was relentless, drawing in federal authorities and generating thousands of leads. Tips poured in from across the country. Among the many names that surfaced, one stood out: James Lewis. He had sent a letter to Johnson & Johnson, demanding money in exchange for stopping the killings. But suspicion alone was not enough. There's no direct link, investigators admitted. Lewis was eventually convicted of extortion, but not murder. As the investigation slowed, the mystery deepened. Who had poisoned the Tylenol? Was it a calculated act or something more chaotic designed to instill fear? The absence of answers only amplified the unease. To this day, the case remains unsolved, a lingering shadow over a crime that changed the way people think about safety and trust. The killer was never found, leaving a void where justice should have been. While the identity of the killer remains unknown, the impact is undeniable. The world was forced to change. Before 1982, medicine bottles were simple, built on an assumption that no one would tamper with them. After the Tylenol murders, that assumption could no longer exist. Tamper-evident packaging became the standard: sealed bottles, safety caps, and protective layers. An entire industry transformed out of necessity to protect the public from the unthinkable. In the end, the story is about trust. The most unsettling truth is not how the victims died, but how they lived until the moment everything changed. They trusted something ordinary, and that trust was weaponized. People believe danger reveals itself, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes, it sits quietly on a shelf, looking exactly like everything else. In 1982, 7 people unknowingly answered a question the world had never thought to ask: how fragile is trust?